Hey there, howdy, welcome back to the channel. I'm Steve, your roving reporter here on the Roving Moose. Welcome. Corinne and Brinkley are off on a little walk before we hop in the rig and head up to what is going to be the beginning of our fair journey here. Actually, our grand journey. As I've told you in the past, I'm newly retired, newly left employment. And so for the first time in well over 30 years, actually, we get to take a vacation longer than a week or two. Really looking forward to it. So a lot of people have been asking, so what's the plan? What are we doing? Well, here it is. And I'll share a map in just a minute. In a couple of minutes, Corinne and Brinkley and I take off for the great north woods of northern Minnesota to Itasca State Park. Some of you might know that as the headwaters of the Mississippi River, where it all begins. And in fact, where it all begins in more ways than one. Where it all begins for the Mississippi on its flow down to New Orleans and Venice, Louisiana. And also where it begins for us on our great adventure. We are heading out. We're going to be up in Itasca for a little while. We'll do some shooting up there and have some fun and share that with you. And then we're going to head down what's called the Great River Road. That is a road all the way down past New Orleans that follows the Mississippi River. I believe it's on both sides of the river. We're going to head down mainly the western side of the Mississippi. It'll take us about 8 days to get down to Baton Rouge. We're going to stay in the Baton Rouge and New Orleans area for a few days. Then we're going to head over to the Panhandle of Florida. Head down to the Florida Keys, where we're going to spend a few weeks. And then if all goes well, we will start working our way back home up the East Coast, staying as close to the ocean as possible, up to the Washington, D.C. area, where we'll visit some family, have some fun, and then head back home from there. So that's the first adventure of the year. We've got another great one after that we are really looking forward to and have actually already started making plans on. But here's the video on Itasca State Park and all things headwaters of the mighty Mississippi. So here's the map of our trip. Heading down the Mississippi, hang a left at Baton Rouge and New Orleans and head over to Florida for a while. Boy, we are so fortunate here in Minnesota to have incredible state parks. This one located on Lake Itasca, the headwaters, where it all begins. And there's the signs we'll be looking for about the next 1,400 miles or so. Brinkley and I went for a nice walk through the campground. Had the video going, and I have no idea what happened to that video. So here's a video that Corinne took as we were driving into the campground in the afternoon. I promise we weren't driving that fast. It's a beautiful campground. There's 2 of them at Lake Itasca. Many of the Minnesota state parks have great campgrounds. Unfortunately, they're kind of hard to get into, but they are wonderful. We were the only ones there. Woke up to a beautiful sunrise. Brinkley and I went for a walk while Corinne made some coffee. Great start to our trip. Waking up in Itasca State Park. I think that's blue jays I hear. Come over here, Brink. We were the only ones in the park last night. I noticed a plaque over here. Thought Brinkley and I could come and check it out. Oh, Civilian Conservation Corps. They did a lot of work in the Minnesota state parks back in the 30s. Did some beautiful work. You should check it out, especially up at Jay Cook State Park, Gooseberry State Park, and a few others along the north shore of Lake Superior. Right, Brink? Huh, buddy? All right. Time to begin our adventures from the headwaters of the Mississippi down to New Orleans. Here we come. I don't think the ground will be white down there. What do you think, Brinkley? lake is frozen. We saw some ice houses out here, but they must be around the corner. There's Lake Itasca on a fresh February morning. There's some construction going on here at the boat landing. Corinne and Brinkley are out walking on the ice. And as we shoot way down here, there's the headwaters down there. And yes, lots of people ask, is the ice safe to walk on? It's even safe to drive on up here this time of year. Even though we haven't had much snow, there's still been some cold. I spoke with the gentleman in the truck and he said he had been catching panfish, so crappies and sunfish, but they also fish for walleyes and other things. We left the boat landing and went over to the Mary Gibbs Interpretive Center. Very beautiful, brand new building. Well, it's probably not brand new anymore, but very nice. Unfortunately, it's closed for winter, so we couldn't go in. There's a lot of good information to be learned about the Mississippi, all the different people that have lived there for thousands of years. Brinkley loved exploring everything. There's all kinds of beautiful artwork. Brinkley loved the turtles. There are all kinds of placards regarding the source of the Mississippi and why it's here and why it's not at the top of the Missouri. I love these old postcards. The first one was from back in 1910. These others are from the 50s and 60s, and here's today. It was actually a very nice day. And yes, that's the start of the Mississippi River. Corinne and Brinkley walking across the mighty Mississippi. I don't think we'll be able to do that in a few weeks. There we go, bud. Nice job. Was that fun? Yeah, no, the water's too cold for you, sorry. But we can walk along it for the first couple 100 feet. Look at that, the mighty Mississippi is about, what, 8 feet across? And it's maybe 6 or 8 inches deep. Well, we left the northern part of the park and drove south over to the Douglas Lodge, the historic Douglas Lodge, built in 1905. An absolutely beautiful place to do some hiking, walk down to the lake. There's a nice restaurant here. And then across the road is a gift shop. In fact, there's 3 or 4 gift shops on the property. Built in 1905. And yes, it's much nicer here in July. Come on, let's go see the lake. Okay, thanks. Go down. I was hoping we could get a good view of the. So we left beautiful Itasca State Park and started driving down the Great River Road, or I should say, started driving up the Great River Road as the first 30 miles or so of the river actually goes north and then east. Here you can see I'm actually flying upstream. That's Lake Bemidji up near the horizon. The Mississippi is coming toward us, obviously pretty frozen on a February day. And there on the left is the northernmost point of the Mississippi River. Thought we'd have some fun flying around. So as we draw a close on this video, we had to throw one last thing in here. We found a really big fish as we started driving south on the Great River Road. Take care, everyone, and we will see you on the next video. That's one big fish.